Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney and I read. So this is my TBR cart. She's looking a little bit out of date, a little bit dusty, a little bit chaotic. So let's fix that. This was the only angle I could get in which you could see both these tiers and none of the mess in my bedroom. So we are going to deal with it. Okay. Also, am I wearing a cute top and gray sweatpants? Yes, I am, because comfort. I'm on the floor. Everything that I have in the bottom 2 rows, I'm just going to go ahead and take those off, and then we're going to build a fresh TBR for May. What does a TBR mean to me? Honestly, it's like a, hey, here are these books you said you wanted to read. Focus on these. Because as you can see behind me, I have shelves with a lot of books. When I just walk up to my shelves and I go, what book should I read? And then I get overwhelmed, then I don't read. And then I'm in a reading slump. And I know this is a very roundabout way to say, do not hold me to whatever I put on this cart. As you can see, there are books that are still on here I haven't read yet from whenever I put these on, and that may have been January. Who knows? So we're going to take all these off, and then I'll sort through and pick a couple that I do want to keep on here. And then we will start with a little TBR game, which I will tell you about once I've cleaned this off. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so as we can see, the TBR cart is now empty. Ignore this. And I haven't sorted through the books I already had on it before, but let's go through those now, and I will talk about each one and why it will be staying or leaving the TBR cart. Number 1, I have the Zodiac Academy, The Awakening as Told by the Boys. I finished Zodiac Academy this year, and it's not like the greatest work of fiction that's ever existed. However, it did make me feel things. I was laughing, I was crying. I still think that this is one that'll help get me out of a slump, so I am going to keep it on the cart. The next book I had on the cart was Bullet Train by Kotaro Osaka. Is it calling to me? No, not necessarily. So I'm going to put that one off to the side. The next book that I have, this is a cute little YA book called Bond Me for Two. And I just thought it was adorable. It's small. Am I in the mood to read it anytime soon? I could be. So I'm gonna take it off. I'm very indecisive. Please keep that in mind. The next book that was on the TBR cart is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy, and I've heard really great things about this book from all over, but I went through a period of being sick and reading a lot of like emotional books, and from what I may have gathered, this is emotional. I don't know if I'm still in that headspace, so I'm gonna take this one off of the cart. Next book I had on the cart, Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. Binding and Keeping 13, love them. Saving and Redeeming 6, thoroughly enjoyed. Not as much as Binding and Keeping 13, but I thoroughly enjoyed them. And this one is about Gibbsy. And now, why do I not have a thicker book is what I want to know. This is definitely going on to the TBR cart. I know, hold on. Before you say, you just said you didn't want anything emotional. That doesn't count. Boys of Tommen gets a pass. The next book I had on the TBR cart before was Iron Widow by Zhe Zhao. I don't know, I've been putting this off for so long, but I have only heard good things about it, and I've seen this author on social media a lot. I also want to go into it with like zero idea of what it's supposed to be about, so I'm going to put it back onto the TBR cart and hope that I get around to reading it. Dark and Hollow Star. This one was also on the TBR cart. I've had this book for so long, and I saw that like the 3rd book in this series had come out, and it reminded me about it and how excited I was and like how pretty the cover is. So this one I definitely want to keep on the cart. And these are all just like mood reads. The bottom will be mood reads, and then this one will be ones from like a TBR game. Does that make sense? Now we're establishing the rules when I'm midway through. Yes. Give Me a Reason by A.L. Jackson. I think this one is a dark romance about a kindergarten teacher and their student's parent. It's not super exciting, so I'm going to take it off of the cart. Next I have Pet by Kweki Emezi. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. A very short book, YA, won lots of awards, and I've heard that it's really good. So I'm going to keep this one on the TBR cart. I had In the Weeds by B.K. Morrison. In the Weeds is book 2, I believe, in the Love Light Farm series, and I gave Love Light Farms a 5-star. I'm really hoping that this book lives up to those expectations, and I would like to continue the series, so I am going to keep this on the TBR cart. Wild and Wrangled. That is the next one I have here by Lila Sage. It is book 4. Book 4 in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. This is one of those books that, like, I could be in any mood whatsoever and read them. They're not overly emotional, they're not overly cheesy, they just hit that like nice sweet spot, and so this will be staying on the TBR cart. This is The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. I read Fellowship of the Ring last year, and it was not great. It was not great. Maybe it's the edition that I have. Maybe it was my mood when I read it. I didn't think I went into it with an open mind and wanting to read it, to be fair. But I do want to continue on. I have become a fan of the movies from watching them. My favorite stories were The Two Towers and Return of the King. So I'm hoping that that translates with the books themselves. I'm not going to get to it this month. I'm telling you right now, I'm not in the headspace for it. I appreciate you though, and I will read you one day. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I've heard so many things about this series. I would really like to read the entirety of the Red Rising series and make it a like spoiler vlog and just give you all of my thoughts and reactions book by book and get it all read. So I'm actually going to keep that on the cart. In that same note, I have The Hunger Games here by Suzanne Collins. Hamish is one of my favorite characters from the movies, and I have yet to read a single Hunger Games book. So again, I have plans to read all of the Hunger Games books, most likely for a video as well, so I'm going to keep this on the TBR cart. Funny Story by Emily Henry. I have not read this one yet. Not all of her books have been 5-star reads for me. My favorites are Beach Read and Book Lovers. I'm looking to see which way Emily Henry sways for me, because I've also heard mixed reviews on A Funny Story. The reason why I haven't read this is because it just came out in paperback. I did not want to read it in hardcover because I am hard-headed. Next we have Addicted to You. Am I ready to start this series right now with all the other things I have going on? No, so let's just go ahead and make this real easy for myself and take it off. My Heart is a Chainsaw. This book by Stephen Graham Jones. So I'm going to take this off of the TBR cart with the knowledge that one day I will read it, because this is a slasher, and slasher is different and exciting, and I love slashers. I'm trying to pick up the speed because I realized I've been going for a long time and haven't even gotten to shelf 2. Songbird and The Heart of Stone. This is book 3 in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. Girl, Crowns of Nyaxia is good. I literally reread Serpent and the Wings of Night and Ashes and the Star-Cursed King in preparation for this book, and then I just never read it. I do want to still. Will I get to it anytime soon? It's off of the cart. Remind me not to film on the floor anymore. Okay, this book right here, Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. I'm hoping that that's how you pronounce her name. I'm really excited to read this book. I'm keeping it on the TBR cart. I'm looking forward to an immersive read, so this is definitely staying on. Only 3 more books, and then I swear we're going to get to our TBR game, okay? Let's talk God of Wrath, okay? God of Malice. I should not love Killian Carson, and yet I do. And yet I do. And then God of Pain. God of Pain had its moments. But sitting here right now, I read that book last month. I cannot come up with the MMC's name. It was Annika and... Oh, this is not even funny. Is this a memory problem? I guess we forgot. It's somebody. But this one is Cecily and Jeremy. I'm excited. So it's staying on. Will I read these all in a month? No, but that's not the point. A TBR cart doesn't really have any rules except for what I assign to it. Never keep. By the ladies who wrote the Zodiac Academy series, Miss Caroline Peckham and Miss Susan Valenti. Maybe this one gets put to the side for right now. Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I have actually already read this book. I'm very upset that I have it in a mass market paperback, but we will get over it. It was my first Brandon Sanderson book, I believe. Either this one or Emperor's Soul. I read in 2023 and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I didn't understand all of the bigger implications of it until I was reading The Way of Kings, and I started getting deeper into the Cosmere and realized that this book had more to it than what I originally read it thinking, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one, so I have no problem with doing that. It's gonna stay on the TBR cart. And look at that, we perfectly filled out the bottom. So I have a little jar here. It's called a mug, and in this mug I have, some of them are prompts, some of them are literal just book titles, and these are ones that I've written throughout like the last year or so, just whenever I wanted to set myself a little TBR. And these are ones that I presumably haven't gotten to yet. Some of the prompts or little papers in here may have titles that I've already read. If that happens, then I'm going to take out my dice and I'm going to pick a book that way from my shelves. If we get to it, then you'll see it, and if not, it's something to look forward to in a future video. This shelf is going to be for ones that I would like to imminently read. This will be like for the month of May specifically, and then I can just pull from here as well, because this is just kind of like my mood read section. Is this making sense? Probably not, but this will be my actual May TBR, and then this is my mood read area. But we want to fill up this entire cart, so whatever number of books fills up this row is what we're going to get to. All right, so without further ado, let's pick our first one. And for the first one, we have The Rom-Commers. Okay, now this is a book by Catherine Center. I have not thought about that book since I purchased it, not because of anything bad, but just like, you know, you buy it, the serotonin is there, you put it on your shelf, you're like, ooh, it's so pretty, and then the thought vanishes. Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I will happily add this to the cart. Now let's pull some more. That one's not too thick of a book either, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, we grabbed a couple. Let's see. There we go. Now we have one. What's that? Oh, Wicked Beauty. This is a Greek retelling. It's all the way up there, so I guess I'm gonna have to stand up again. All right, so I have it. This is Wicked Beauty by Katie Robert, and I have actually thought about reading this multiple times. I set up my little tabs for it. This is a Greek mythology retelling, dark romance. They're usually pretty easy, quick reads to get through. This is book 3 in the Dark Olympus series, so we're gonna put this on the cart. So let's see, this one is Daughter of No Worlds. Okay. I'm excited actually. I've really wanted to start this series, but it's like such a thick series. I gotta get it from up there again. She thick, and it's so pretty. Look at this cover. Look at this cover. I'm very excited to get into this, and because she's thick, it takes up a little bit of that cart. Well, I guess it's time now to pick one more book. All right, what do we got here? What do we have? Ooh, a free pick. This is what it says, in case you think I'm cheating. Ooh. Choices. Okay. So for my free pick, I've decided to go with A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I'm kind of in a vampire adjacent era. I believe that this has to do with Dracula and one of his wives or girlfriends or something like that. Again, I try not to learn what books are about too much so that I don't even get them the smallest, tiniest of spoilers. But I do see on the back of here, Katie Roberts, Genevieve Gornichek, and Rachel Gillig all blurbed this, and so it's going on the card. Next book. All right, let's see what this one says. This is a book I have just read. It is The Order by Katerina St. Clair, and I just never took this out of the jar. So, looks like it's time to use our dice. So the way the dice game is going to work is I am going to use 3 separate dice, and that would be the D4, D6, and the D20 in order to select books for my next pick. So first I'm going to roll the D4, and this dice will represent which one of my shelves that I'll be reading from. I have these 3 shelves behind me, and then I have a 4th shelf that's not on camera. So that'll be the first roll. Then the second roll is going to be which shelf on that shelf. So we are going to roll this D20 last, and then that will allow me to count the number of books from the left and from the right, giving me hopefully 2 separate books that I can choose one or the other. So I get a little bit of choice even though it is random, because why not? It's my game. I get to decide. So let's go ahead and do our rolls for these ones. I like to do them all at the same time for a little bit of sass. So I'm gonna roll them all into here. Okay, so it looks like we have a 2 on the top of this die. Okay, you can see it's a 2. So it's gonna be this shelf right behind me. And it says shelf number 5. So that's gonna be this bottom shelf, which is nice. And then 14. So let's go ahead and do some counting, and let's find the book for this one. Don't know how much of the counting process I kept in, but it led me to this book. So when I counted from the left, I counted through all of these, and then I have an entire series behind this one, which is the Shatter Me series. And then the next book after that was the 3rd book in the series. Obviously, I'm not going to read the 3rd book before I read the first one. So we have All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue. And honestly, I was drawn to this one because of the cover. And did I buy all 3 of the books that were out? Yes, I did. It has a YA, a little bit of like practical magic, a little bit of like tarot, astrology sort of vibe to it. And I am super duper excited. So yay, adding it to the cart. Isn't the dice game fun? I could do that for an entire TBR, but not on this one. Oh, Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I actually just read that book. So we get to play the dice game again. Alrighty, so what we've gotten is shelf 1, which will be this shelf right here. Shelf 1, 3rd shelf from the top on this one, so that'd be this shelf right here. And 16 is the number. Okay, I don't know how well you can see these dice. It looks like the 2 options that I have for this one are going to be Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson and Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Which one am I more likely to actually get around to reading? Probably Belladonna. Okay, moving on to the next book for our TBR, we are looking like A Bond Me for Two. See, you know what's funny is I just took it off of the cart, but it's going back on, but now it's required reading. Is this gonna be the longest TBR video ever? No, I'm just exaggerating. I'm being silly. All right, here we go. What's the next one? Jane Eyre. So I have a copy of Jane Eyre. It's over that way. Let me go grab it. Your girl is back. And is this the creepy copy? Yes, it is. So this is a really fun version that I bought when I was in high school because I was a moody teen and I was like, if you're gonna make me read a classic, I want one with cool art, full page art, which is absolutely gorgeous, and that will help me get through this because I'm not a classics girly, but I need to read some classics, and I already own it, so why not? Oh yeah, spoiler alert, I didn't read it in high school. She's a thickum. All right, let's keep on going and choose our next read. Oh, there was one that flew out, so don't worry, we'll get to you. But this one here says, my heart is a chainsaw. You try to take things off of the TBR and they come right back. This is a joke. This is a joke. We used to live here. So we used to live here. This is the one that flew out of the cup. I started that book. I got maybe like 50 pages in and I DNF'd it. Not because of bad writing, but because the child in that book annoyed me. The way that I envisioned their voice when they were like, ha ha ha, gotta come find me. Ooh, I DNF'd it. Now, I guess I'm gonna have to read it. Guess I'm gonna have to pick it back up. Hey, listen, that's on me. That's on me for DNFing for a silly reason. Maybe that was just not its time, and now it is the time. See, that's my bookmark. That's how far in I got to We Used to Live Here. I think we have room for maybe one more book, possibly two, depending on length. So hopefully it's just one. Just one. What do we have? Oh, a mood read. Yes. Yes. I can put whatever I want. So far it looks like we have romance, a little fantasy, a little horror, a little classic. I think we need something, a good palette cleanser in here, like a nice dark romance. Oh my goodness, I just came up with the perfect book option for this. Hold on, I'm back. And I found this book. This is by Katie Robert, same author of Wicked Beauty, and this side is called Wicked Pursuit, and this side is by R.M. Virtues, and it is Divine Intervention. It's one of those books where like one half is read this way, and then you get to the other part of it, and it's upside down because you read it this way. So it's two books in one. So really, I satisfied choosing two more books. I filled up this little space on the TBR cart, and I imagined that because they're a little bit shorter, I can zoom through them. So this is our TBR for May. We'll see how far I get. And then this is our continued TBR from I don't know when. And I will see how many of these books and these books I actually do read in this next month or so. And I will also be keeping track of how many I'm pulling from each shelf. Am I more interested in reading the ones that I have to read, or am I just pulling from here, or am I not even reading any of these, you guys? What if I didn't read any of them? What if I read none? We'll see. If any of these books are books you're interested in me reading in a reading blog or seeing more in-depth thoughts of, maybe I'll get to those sooner, so just let me know. If there's anything I've taken off of the cart or anything you see behind me that you're interested in seeing me read, a lot of them are unread, so if you like this video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, Comment down below, just anything, say hello, and if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, go ahead and drop a little penguin emoji so I know that you did, and yeah, I'll see you in a different video. Bye.